Everybody sees me? Yes. Yeah? Okay. Good evening, everyone. How are you? Rosh Chodesh Sameach. Nice seeing you. I would like to speak to you about today's Rosh Chodesh Adar. I would like to speak to you a little bit about Purim. Purim is a very, very special holiday. It says that all the other holidays that we have, Passover, Sukkot, Shavuot, later on they will be nullified, they will be cancelled, but Chag Purim would not be cancelled, ever. Also, one of the rabbis says that all the books that we have in the Bible, the 24 books, the 19 books of the prophets, of the Ketuvim, they also will be nullified, but 5 books of Torah will not be nullified. And one of the rabbis says, Rabbi Shimon ben Lakish, that Megillat Esther will never be nullified also. The question is, what is the importance of Purim? Why is it so strong that it will never be cancelled? What does it teach us? What is the message behind the story of Purim? So, before talking to you about Purim, I would like to refer to a different event. We read it in the Parsha a few weeks ago. We read about when we got the Torah, okay? Ma'amad Har Sinai was a very, 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 very special event that we got the Torah. Jewish people had to get prepared for that, okay? Moshe is preparing them. They get elevated. They get spiritual, okay, for the moment that they will receive the Torah from Hashem. And then it says that the Jews said, Naase v'nishma. Beautiful. Naase v'nishma means we will do, and then we will even hear all the details. We're willing to accept it, no problem, whatever. But it says also, Chazal b'Masechet Shabbat, that when it says v'yityatzu b'tachtit ha'ar, they were standing, okay, next to the mountain. It says that melamed shekafa aleim har kegigit, that Hashem forced them to accept the Torah, and if they would not accept it, He will throw the mountain on them, and that, God forbid, is going to be their burial. They will die there. And the question is, who gives Torah this way? Ma pitom, how to accept the Torah forcefully? Who can accept the Torah? Who can give the Torah forcefully? What's the idea there? And Rashi says there that if later on it will be a situation that Hashem is going to question us, why don't you accept, why don't you fulfill the mitzvot of the Torah, we can tell him, well, you forced us, so we don't have to. And Amar Rava, and this is the connection to Purim, Af al pi chen, Hadur kiblua b'yimei Achashverosh. Even though at the time of the receiving the Torah on Chag HaShavuot, they didn't maybe accept it 100% because they were forced, but they were accepting it willingly with 100% in the time of Purim, in the time of Achashverosh, in the time of Esther and Mordechai. Hadur kiblua, with glory. And let's try to understand what it says over here. Whenever we receive the Torah, okay, Hashem showed Himself, opened the sky, the heaven. Bnei Israel saw things that are unbelievable. They say that even in that time they saw so many miracles when they left Egypt, okay, with the plagues that Paro got. Moshe made so much miracles. They left Egypt. He had to split for them the sea. In that great moments when all these miracles happened, even a simple maid saw what Yechezkel ben Buzi HaKohen, which was a prophet, which was a Kohen, he didn't see these sights. When the sky opened and they saw all the secrets of heaven, they saw it at that moment, And people, generations later, were not able to see it anymore. And so how come a generation that saw so many miracles, okay, and the Torah that they've got, and how could they, after 40 days, okay, Moshe, they got the Torah, Moshe goes to heaven to accept the Torah, he comes back, what does he see? They're doing the golden calf. It's terrible, terrible scene. How could they drop so much? How could they, from a very high point that they were, the peak point that they were, they dropped and they made this scene that's called the golden calf. Egel HaZahav. How could they get there? So, rabbis explain, try to explain what does it mean that they made the golden calf. Number one, it says, when Hashem sees that they're making the scene, he tells Moshe, Red, go down, ki shichet amcha. The Jewish people, they do a terrible, terrible sin. It says, saru maher min haderech. Quickly, they went off the derech. They are not in that path anymore. They did terrible, terrible thing. One rabbi says, listen to this, that these first 29 days that they were after receiving the Torah, they were still accepting the Torah, saying Naase v'nishma, they were hearing and doing, but then the rest 11 days they were thinking already how to make the golden calf. Another rabbi says the opposite. No, only 11 days they were with Hashem, and then the rest of the time they were thinking how to make the golden calf. Another rabbi comes in the Gemara and says, no, only 2 days, only 1 day, only this. How come? How come in these great moments they're dropping and going to the lowest point? So they say that whenever you get too much miracles and you didn't really work for them very hard, you didn't really internalize it. It doesn't become part of you. Okay? And so whatever you get easy also goes easy.
Right.
And so the first moment that something goes wrong, they drop it, they lose it. It's not good for them. Let's try to imagine what happened in the time of the golden calf, and then we'll see why did they sin. Imagine an aircraft, a big airplane that has 450 people aboard. A lot of people in there. They're traveling, they want to travel from United States, let's say to Israel. They have 10 hours ahead of them. The first hour, whenever they're in air, comes the stewardess to the microphone and she announces, does anyone know how to run an airplane? When you hear such a question, what gets up into your mind?
Panic.
What happens? Nobody comes forward, and then she announces again, well, I'm sorry to say that our captain got a heart attack. Oh and the second pilot, he's, I don't know, he has a stomach virus and I don't know, something, he cannot really do anything. Does anybody know how to run airplane? We need to land soon. Now, for now it's automatic, it's okay, but soon we need your help. What happens with 450 people? They're all panicking. They're confused. They don't know what to do with themselves. They start thinking and imagining, will I get back? Will I stay alive? What's going to be with my children? What's going to be with the... And people start to get confused. You know, at this moments when people are confused, they're making their worst mistakes. That's what happened in the time of the golden calf. So Jewish people, they made a mistake. Instead of Moshe was supposed to come after 40 days, they made a mistake, and one day passed after these 40 days, and he didn't come yet. So the Satan tells them, "What do you think? A man that goes to heaven, a man that goes for 40 days, didn't eat, didn't drink, he's going to stay alive. He's dead. Cannot be that he's alive." And they didn't pay attention to him. So what trick he uses? He shows them a video. He shows them that Moshe Rabbeinu is dead. He's sleeping, he's laying down on the bed, and he's dead, and he won't come back anymore. So what happens now to a nation that's in the middle of the desert? What are they going to do exactly with this kind of news? Moshe Rabbeinu was everything for them. He was their leader. He took them out of Egypt. He made all these miracles. Because of them, because of Moshe Rabbeinu, they had food in the desert. They had water in the desert. They had, because of his brothers and sisters, Miriam and Aaron, he had the clouds that would protect them from bad animals, from the bad hot weather, protection. And if Moshe is not there, no food, no drink, no water, no protection, all kind of animals and the heat and everything, and no leader, nobody, no intermediate between them and Hashem. What's going to happen now? They got panicked. They didn't know what to do. Now, the rabbis say that it's not really the Jews that got panicked, it's the Erev Rav that were with them. You know what the rabbi says, the amount of the people that came with them from Egypt? So Jews were around 3 million people. And Erev Rav, one of the rabbis here says, were close to 4 million people with them.
Wow.
Now 7 million people in the desert, roaming around, don't know what to do, what's going to be. It's frightening. The man, they were supposed to get man every day. They couldn't leave anything for the next day. They were supposed to have 100% bitachon in Hashem. Trust in Hashem that tomorrow He's going to give them food as well. So when such a thing happens, a woman that doesn't know if she's going to have formula for her baby tomorrow, doesn't she panicking? Isn't she afraid, confused? Of course she is. And what about these people that are in the desert? So the Erev Rav, because they didn't really, they didn't really come close to Hashem. They didn't come because they wanted to be Jewish or so. So they started to talk out to the Jews, what's going to be tomorrow? It's not a good thing. Let's find a leader, somebody else to replace Moshe Rabbeinu. They talk, and they ask basically for another intermediary, somebody else that will be instead of Moshe Rabbeinu, because Moshe Rabbeinu was everything for them. So this is how they came up with this golden calf. And they think about this. They say, Ele Elohecha Israel asher utzeucha miMitzrayim. They didn't say, this is the God that created us. They didn't believe that this stupid gold thing really created them. No, they wanted somebody instead of Moshe Rabbeinu that will be between them and Hashem. There's a lot of secrets to it. I don't want to really get in there because it's not our subject today. But that's basically what they did. So the Satan was really working, the evil incarnation was really working on their confusion. Because at time of confusion, you make wrong conclusions, you make wrong decisions. And because they were confused, they were scared, they were panicking, so they said, so we need something else. So what can we do? What can we do? And this is how they came out with this solution. Let's go back to that airplane. Let's say somebody comes to the stewardess and tell her or tell him, I'm a scientist, and I invented this kind of robot that can land aircrafts safe and easy. And I'm going to this convention now in somewhere in the United States to present it to them. If you want, I need a lot of gold for that. I need like 10 pounds of gold, let's say. If you're going to give it to me now, I'm going to work on this robot. I know exactly how to do it. And this can land the airplane for you. Would people give him the money for that?
Yes.
Of course. They'll do anything to land safely, of course. And this is why they had to. They didn't have a choice. They gave the money, the gold to Aaron, and just do something because we need a solution. Okay, so this is why saru maher min haderech. They were just confused, and the El Rav took them out for that. What happened in the time of Mordechai and Esther? Same kind of a situation. Haman comes with a decree to kill all the Jews in one day. Chas v'shalom, chas v'shalom. You know what is this, to kill all the Jews in one day? 70 years ago we had the Holocaust when they were trying to kill all the Jews, but it wasn't in one day. They still kill a lot of people. But one day, what can you do? So first thing that people can come to is blaming. When people are confused, when people are scared, when people are panicking, they blame. First thing to blame is Mordechai. I'll tell you why. So 9 years ago, the king made a feast, and he told them not to go. Why Mordechai not to go? This is a new king. Let's have connections. Let's have good relationship with the king. It's good. You are not politically correct when you say that we're not supposed to go to the king's feast. He says, no, it's wrong, it's not good, and some of them did go. Looks like nothing happened. Looks like no punishment afterwards. For 9 years there was nothing there. And looks like Mordechai wasn't right. He didn't know what he was talking about. And then he starts to provoking on Haman. Everybody is supposed to bow down to Haman, and he's the only one that doesn't bow down to Haman. It made him upset. It made him angry. He started with his decree. So first thing that they would do is blaming Mordechai. It's because of you. You started all this. If you wouldn't start all this, we wouldn't come to this kind of a situation. But we don't see that the Jews blamed Mordechai. On the contrary. Mordechai, he's forcing, look at this, it's unbelievable, it's very hard to understand. He's forcing Esther HaMalka to go and live with the king. It's against her feelings, it's against her beliefs and what she knows and what she's supposed to. And she obeys. She does whatever he tells her to do. The Jews decide, instead of going against Mordechai, to listen to him. He tells them, you know something, now you have to fast for 3 days. And in between these 3 days were Pesach. It says in the Torah, you're supposed to eat matzah on Pesach. He tells them, don't eat anything. Even though it says in the Torah. Who should they listen to? And they hold themselves, and they completely nullify whatever they know, whatever they know it's right, and they believe in Mordechai again. They say, whatever you say, now we're going to listen to you. This is called Kiyemu v'kiblu. Kiyemu v'kiblu HaYehudim alehem. Again, it's like Naase v'nishma. Same words. Kiyemu v'kiblu. Think about this. It's exactly like Naase v'nishma. We'll do, and then we'll get the details later. Kiyemu v'kiblu. And yeah, they accepted upon themselves whatever Mordechai told them to do. So, yeah, it looks like, in the time of the Megillah, everything happened just randomly. Randomly, the king wanted to be in Shushan HaBirah, because Esther lived there. Randomly, he didn't like Vashti, all of a sudden. Randomly, Mordechai saved the king. It looks like there's no connection. But Hashem, with His mercy and His love to us, He puts all these details. He kind of weaved this plot slowly, carefully, and then it all, later on, in a perspective of time, it made a lot of sense. There's a story about a Jew that was in the Holocaust. And the Germans, they once became very merciful, and they bring a truck full of rolls, bread rolls, warm, fresh, and they line everybody up, and they say everybody's going to get one. They're so happy, they're so excited after a long time that they're going to eat something. So they're all lining up, and this guy, he's standing there, and he sees that there's 5 people ahead of him. He's number 6, and the box, the pack of the rolls is going to about to finish. There's only 6 left. He's going to be number 6, means he's going to get the last one. He wanted to outsmart, to trick the Germans. He's going to take this last one, and then when they're going to bring a new pack, okay, so he's going to stand there again, because I didn't get one, That's what he wanted to do, and that's what he did. He got the first roll, he hid it, and when they said next, when they were about to call to all the others, he stood there again, and got another one. He got 2 rolls. He was so happy, he was so excited that he got 2 rolls. For him, it's like, it's life, it's. But 2 Russian prisoners saw him. And whenever he was alone to eat his portion, they came to him and give us your second roll. No, it's mine. Give us your second roll. You took it, and they started to fight with him. They were stronger from him. He was tired. He was weak from all the work and the labor and the hunger and everything. They started to beat him and to beat him and to hit him. And he passed out from all this beating. First thing that he sees, when he feels when he wakes up, is the sun on his face, and he's like, "Son, the Nazis forgot to wake us up or something? It's already late. Usually they made a early wake up for them, lining them up in the snow in the early hours, and then he remembered why all his body was aching from all these hits that he got yesterday, and he's like, Hashem, why did you do this to me? That's not fair. After working so hard, after suffering so much, so I did get 2 rolls, so what's the end? Why to take it away from me? And he was so upset. He started cursing everything around and being very upset. As he comes to the camp where the people are, he sees a lot of people, dead bodies on the floor, on the ground. And he's like, what's happening here? He's walking, he's checking one by one. Then he realized what happened. The Nazis, what they did was, they poisoned the bread. And they wanted the people to eat it with excitement, because they didn't eat bread for a long time. And all these people who ate from the bread died. God. He didn't get to eat one because they were fighting with him, and he was saved. So at that moment, you're upset. Like, how come Hashem does it to me? That's not fair. But on a perspective of time, you see how Hashem was mercy with you. That he didn't eat that bread. So this is what we see. That at that moment we don't really see the blessing of Hashem, the mercy of Hashem, but later on we realize how Hashem is taking care of us. Okay. But Tikkunei Zohar, they compare Purim to Yom Kippur. And it's so interesting to see how they put this together. אומרים Purim כפורים. Purim is like Yom Kippur, or Yom Kippur is Purim, is like Purim. I'll ask you, what's the most important day during the year that you can elevate yourself? You become like an angel, you become spiritually very high, usually? Yom Kippur. But they say that Purim is even stronger than Yom Kippur. See, Yom Kippur was given to us why? Why did we get Yom Kippur? Because of the sin of the golden calf. When Jews made a sin, so Moshe dropped the luchot that he came after 40 days that he was in heaven. He dropped it and he took care of the sinners and everything. He went back to heaven for another 40 days to ask for forgiveness. He comes back on Rosh Chodesh Elul, and then he goes again for 40 days. And on Yom Kippur, when he comes back, he says to the Jews, Salachti kidvarach, Hashem is forgiving us, and he's asking us to build the Mishkan, and this is the day that he gave them the Luchot. So basically, Yom Kippur is the day that we got the Torah. Because before, we didn't really got it. It was taken from us again, and Yom Kippur is really the day that we got the Torah. So, they say, because at the day of the golden calf, okay, they sat, they ate, they drank, and אפילו ישבו לצחק, sat, enjoy, to make a feast afterwards. So to atone this, on Yom Kippur, we don't eat. On Yom Kippur, we don't drink. On Yom Kippur, no לצחק. לצחק means having sexual relations, it's not allowed. And so, it's a day that we disengage ourselves from the world. It's like with our prayers, with our siddur, nobody else around, and this is Yom Kippur. You're trying to concentrate. But on Purim, in order for you to come closer to Hashem, you don't need all this. With the food that you eat, you become closer to Hashem. With the drinks, Ad Lo Yada, you're getting close to Hashem. And with the other things that we have on Yom Kippur. Interesting about Purim is that on Purim, there's this thing of the lottery. What is the Purim? It's the lottery that Haman did to see which day is the worst day for the Jews. Okay? So the whole Purim is about lottery. Yom Kippur, we also have lottery. Yom Kippur is when the Kohen takes two same goats, they're supposed to be the same, and he makes echad LaHashem, echad LaAzazel, and okay, it's only one part of Yom Kippur that we have this lottery, but the Purim, the whole Purim is about lottery. And the thing is, sometimes we think that I want to worship Hashem if I understand it. If I don't understand something, it doesn't make sense to me, why should I keep it? But Purim teaches us that we have to worship Hashem beyond our understanding, even though we don't understand. As I said before, Esther didn't understand why Mordechai is insisting to send her to live with Achashverosh, with this wicked king, non-Jew, that will, I don't know, abuse her and tell her to do all kind of stuff. She has to live in this palace where there's no Jews, no Jewish life over there, no nothing. Why is she supposed to give and why is she supposed to do all this? And the Jews are understanding or not, are not eating on Pesach, are fasting, are doing tshuva. So this is what happens on Yom Kippur. On Purim. Yes, Yom Kippur is doing tshuva, is repenting, but Purim is even more than that. Purim, you can come closer to Hashem because Ad Lo Yada, you leave everything up to Hashem. Hashem, you do with me whatever you want. I know that you're doing, you want the best for me. There was this family that came from Russia. And they explained to one of the rabbis here in the United States how hard it was in the communist Russia to keep mitzvot, but still they did that. Even though it was hard, they kept mikveh. Even not everybody, but this family, even though it was hard, they kept Shabbat. Even though it was hard, they kept kashrut. Even though it was hard, they kept all this mitzvot. And the rabbi is so impressed. How come? How are you able to do such a thing? And he said, Rabbi, did I have any other choice? I didn't have a choice. Okay, we did this because we had to. No questions asked. And this is the beauty of Purim. So Be'ezrat Hashem, let's pray that this year on Purim we will accept the Torah and the redemption will come, and we understand that Hashem is doing the best for us, even though sometimes it's dark moments. And in Purim it was dark when we were in the Galut. But still, Hashem, Be'ezrat Hashem, will reveal to us, and the Mashiach will come, and Be'ezrat Hashem, B'sarot Tovot to everybody. Amen. Thank you so much for listening. God bless you.
Amen. Thank you.